There's someone you can't stop thinking about. And every time you're around them, something feels different. They act normal on the surface, but underneath, you sense something more. What if I told you your crush might actually like you, but they're working hard to keep it hidden? The truth is, attraction has a way of leaking through the cracks, no matter how hard someone tries to hide it. And if you know what to look for, you can see the signs as clearly as daylight. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the signs you're about to discover might just confirm what you've been hoping all along. Sign number 1. The first sign your crush likes you but is trying not to show it is hidden in their eyes. They can keep their words casual, they can act uninterested, but their eyes will always reveal the truth. When someone secretly likes you, their gaze lingers longer than it should. They might look at you when they think you're not paying attention, then quickly look away the moment you notice. It's that subtle push and pull of wanting to see you but being afraid of being caught. Think about the last time you were around them. Did you feel their eyes on you from across the room? Did they quickly shift their attention when you turned your head? That flicker of nervousness isn't random, it's attraction leaking through. Most people can control their words, but very few can control their eyes. Here's the psychology behind it. Attraction activates the brain's reward system, and one of the strongest instincts is to look at the person we desire. Eye contact releases dopamine and oxytocin, which bond us to the person we're focused on. So even when your crush is trying to act indifferent, their biology makes it nearly impossible to stop sneaking those glances. But here's the twist, they might avoid holding eye contact for too long. Why? Because locking eyes with someone you secretly like feels too intense, too revealing. It's like they're afraid that if they look at you for just a second longer, you'll see right through them. So, if your crush keeps stealing glances, then quickly looking away, don't mistake it for disinterest. It's the exact opposite. Their eyes are saying what their words refuse to admit, you've caught their attention, and they're struggling to hide it. Sign number 2. The second sign your crush likes you but is trying not to show it lies in the way their body moves around you. Words can be rehearsed, but the body is honest. It reacts before the mind can filter, and attraction always leaves traces. Notice how they position themselves when you're nearby. Do they lean in slightly, even if they don't realize it? Do their feet point toward you, even when they're talking to someone else? These small, unconscious cues reveal where their attention truly lies. Our bodies naturally orient toward the person we want, even when we're trying to appear casual. You might also see nervous energy show up in unexpected ways. They might fidget with their hands, adjust their clothes, or suddenly play with their phone just to release the tension. And here's the key, those behaviors aren't random. Psychology shows that nervous habits spike when we're around someone we secretly desire. Their body is trying to manage the adrenaline that floods their system the moment you enter the room. And then, there's mirroring. If you cross your arms, they'll eventually do the same. If you take a sip of water, they'll follow a moment later. This isn't coincidence, it's a subconscious attempt to create harmony with you. The human brain mirrors the actions of those it feels connected to, especially when attraction is involved. Of course, they won't admit any of this. They'll pretend their movements are meaningless. But the truth is, their body betrays what they're trying to keep hidden. Every lean, every glance, every nervous fidget is their secret spilling out in real time. So if their body always seems to react differently when you're around, trust what you see, it's the unspoken language of attraction. Sign number 3. One of the clearest signs your crush secretly likes you, even while trying to hide it, is how well they remember things you've said. Think back, have they ever brought up a random detail from a casual conversation you barely recall? Maybe you mentioned your favorite snack once, and weeks later, they surprise you by referencing it. Or perhaps you casually talked about a stressful day, and the next time you see them, they ask how things turned out. Here's why this matters, people don't store details about everyone they meet. The brain is selective. It prioritizes information connected to emotions. When someone remembers your words, it means you triggered an emotional imprint in their mind. And in this case, that imprint is attraction. The fascinating part is how they disguise it. They'll act casual, as if remembering those small things is nothing. But memory doesn't work that way. If they're replaying your conversations and holding on to every detail, it's because they care far more than they want to admit. Psychology calls this selective attention. When you're drawn to someone, your brain locks onto their voice, their stories, their preferences, almost like tuning into a private frequency. You become important in ways you don't even realize. What's even more telling is when they use those memories to create connections. If you said you love a certain band, suddenly they're recommending a playlist. If you once mentioned you like hiking, they might casually bring up a new trail they just happened to discover. These aren't accidents, they're subtle attempts to align their world with yours. So pay close attention. If your crush remembers the little things others forget, it's not just good memory, it's quiet proof that you matter more than they're willing to admit. Sign number 4. Another undeniable sign your crush secretly likes you but tries to hide it is the way they keep finding reasons to cross paths with you. At first, it might seem like coincidence, running into them at the coffee shop, noticing they're suddenly part of the same group hangouts, or realizing they always seem to show up where you are. But if you step back and connect the dots, it forms a pattern. Here's what's happening: they don't want to reveal their feelings outright, but they can't resist being near you. So instead of asking to spend time together, they engineer casual opportunities. Maybe they join the same club or volunteer for the same project at work. Maybe they just happen to take the longer route past your desk or linger a little longer in places you're known to be. Each moment seems small, almost random, but together, they tell the truth. Psychology calls this strategic proximity. It's a way of increasing chances for interaction while keeping it safe. By making these encounters look accidental, they avoid the risk of rejection while still getting to enjoy your presence. It's the perfect balance of desire and caution. Even in conversation, they'll look for reasons to extend the interaction. Asking questions they already know the answer to, pretending to need your help with something simple, or staying around after everyone else has left. These aren't accidents. They're calculated moves disguised as chance. So here's the key: notice who always seems to orbit your world. If they keep showing up in ways that stretch beyond probability, it's not random luck, it's intent. They're placing themselves in your space because, deep down, they want more time with you, even if they're not ready to admit it aloud. Sign number 5. When someone is secretly attracted to you but trying not to show it, one of the biggest giveaways is hidden in the kinds of questions they ask. At first, it feels like normal conversation, casual, light, nothing unusual. But if you really pay attention, you'll notice their curiosity goes far deeper than surface-level topics. Instead of asking about the weather or small talk about work, they'll steer conversations toward you, your family, your background, your dreams, your passions. They'll want to know what you value, what drives you, what makes you happy. And they'll disguise these questions so it feels natural, like they're just making conversation. But in reality, they're collecting pieces of who you are. Here's why this is powerful: attraction isn't just about looks, it's about connection. When someone likes you, their brain craves information. The more they learn, the more they feel tied to you. Psychology calls this intimacy building. By gathering details, they're testing compatibility and trying to create a deeper bond, without ever admitting their true intentions. You'll also notice they don't forget your answers. If you once mentioned your mom was traveling, weeks later they'll ask how her trip went. If you said you're learning something new, they'll circle back and ask how it's going. This isn't casual curiosity, it's emotional investment. The most telling sign is when their questions subtly brush against your relationship status. They might not ask directly if you're single, but they'll find ways around it, asking what you did on the weekend, who you hang out with, or if you've been dating. It's their way of searching for clues while keeping their interest hidden. So if your crush's curiosity always centers on you, disguised as harmless questions, understand this: they're not just making conversation, they're secretly trying to figure out if they could be part of your story.